welcome to Star Wars 1000. So today will be the review of Kenobi Episode 3. I'm going to go into no spoilers here, and then get into spoilers in a little bit. So start off with no spoilers. I thought this was a pretty good episode. Not great. I wish it was great. I felt like it was pretty good. And I felt like there was something missing at times. I don't want to be negative because I'm not one of those people that's super, super negative about everything new Star Wars, nitpicky about things or whatnot. But I felt like there was something missing. And I can't really explain what was missing until I get into spoilers. To recap on characters that we've already seen, Leia was good in this episode. Reva is like, I don't know how to feel about her yet. She feels like Kylo Ren, and I guess that's okay for an Inquisitor. I don't know. And Kenobi's always great. Well, Ewan McGregor does a great job at playing this broken Kenobi, and I think he did a good job in this episode. And yeah, I can't really say much about this episode. This episode is crazy in many ways that I need to get into spoilers. So I would give this episode a 83%. It was pretty good. All right, now getting into spoilers in 3, 2, 1. All right, spoiler time. So the biggest spoiler is obviously Quinlan Vos being alive during this time period. Like, that was crazy. That was like the most mind-blowing thing in this episode. And Vader was there too. No, I mean, seriously, Vader, Quinlan Vos being alive during that period, I'm guessing we'll see him in the show. I mean, why make that tease if you're not going to show him? And the actor that played the Grand Inquisitor said there's going to be many cameos in this show. And so I guess we'll probably see him, and that would be pretty cool. That would be pretty cool. It will be the first time we're seeing him in live action since episode 1. Yes, he was actually in episode 1. That's kind of crazy, all those connections and stuff. But yeah, that was pretty cool. But let's talk about Vader, all right? I know that's what everyone wants to talk about. And how I feel about Vader. Well, I don't know why. I felt like there was something missing with Vader in this episode. I can't put a finger on it. I don't know if it's because they didn't play the Imperial March, or I don't know. I feel like I'm the only one that feels like there's something off with Vader. Is this just me, or is there something missing with Vader here? And I think it's just me. I don't know what I feel like is missing with Vader. It just feels like something was off. Them reuniting seemed a little off. I was expecting something more emotional, but Vader is more machine than man now, according to Kenobi in episode 6. So I guess no emotional reunion. I don't know. I think there should have been more of an emotional reunion when they first see each other, and Vader's just like kind of silent. I don't know. Maybe that's just Vader. Also, maybe Vader seems a little bit off is because that's how they're intending him to be. Like, they're not even playing his theme song, so maybe he'll get his theme. Maybe he'll get like the Imperial March theme around him by the end of the show, I guess. Because I remember Deborah Chow speaking about how this isn't really the Vader we see in A New Hope. This isn't like the real. I don't know what she was saying really. It's something like how Vader. This isn't like true Vader yet. So I guess that's why he might seem a little bit off. It seems a little bit weird, and I can't put a finger on why it feels off. And also another thing, it feels like it's a fan film a little bit when seeing Vader. I don't know. I don't think that's supposed to be a good thing. It feels like I'm watching the recreation of A New Hope fight scene between Obi-Wan and Vader, that fan reenactment of the Death Star fight. Like, with the way the camera is shaking as they're dueling with one another, it feels very similar to the fan-made fight. And I would not be surprised if they took inspiration from that fight. James Earl Jones, I think his voice sounds a little weird too. I'm not sure if that's actually him. I'm guessing it's really him, but it doesn't sound like his voice from the previous things we've seen him in. It doesn't sound like James Earl Jones' voice now sounds older. This sounds like a young James Earl Jones, and maybe that's just the way they edited his voice, and maybe that's why it sounds a little weird. But I kind of have a feeling it's computer generated. And yes, they said it's James Earl Jones as Darth Vader, but they've also said Mark Hamill was Luke Skywalker in the book of Boba Fett. Unless they've confirmed that's actually James Earl Jones doing the voice. I don't really know, but I think his voice sounds a little off too. But man, Vader was ruthless quite a few times. I'm surprised how dark this show is going. Like I was like shocked. Like Vader snapped the neck of a kid. I was like, yo, calm down, man. No. We need more of that. We need more of that. Don't calm down, Vader. Don't calm down. Yeah, that was pretty cool. Vader also was burning Kenobi, and I felt like that was pretty interesting. So there was that too. I feel like I should have been more emotional during those scenes. I don't know why. I was just kind of like amazed, like, whoa, that's crazy. I think maybe I was just in shock, and that's why I wasn't like able to process everything. Or maybe it's just because something feels off with this show. I don't know. Or this episode, I mean. First two episodes are pretty good. This, I feel like, was better than the second episode. And I think the most controversial thing that's probably going to be in this episode is Vader leaving Kenobi. I'm guessing that's because it's connecting to the line in A New Hope when Vader's like, when I left you, I was but the learner, now I am the master. I'm guessing that's when Vader left him. So I'm pretty sure that's what they're referring to, and that's why they had that scene happen. But I'm guessing the reason why Vader left Kenobi there is it's because he felt unsatisfied that Kenobi was this broken individual. Like he was running away from him. Like that's not satisfying. I think he wanted to toy with him a little bit more. I guess he let him go to let him train so he become a Jedi master or whatever. I don't really know. I think that'd be kind of stupid. I think the only way I could see Vader leaving Kenobi is if he was forced to leave. I don't think he would just stop. So I don't know how I feel about that. I was kind of like, what? I don't know about that. Like when I saw that scene happen, I don't know. Maybe he wanted Kenobi to lead him to other Jedi so Vader could have fun slaughtering more people. We also saw Hayden Christensen twice in this episode. We saw him once in like I guess it was like a hallucination. We saw that. That was pretty creepy. We also saw Hayden Christensen putting on the Vader mask in the beginning of the episode. I'm very surprised at how little Hayden Christensen is in this show. Like they really were hyping him up to be like in a big part in this show and a lot of scenes and stuff, but he's not really in this show. I don't know why they can't do flashbacks. I really thought we were going to see a good amount of flashbacks or hallucinations of Hayden Christensen around Ewan McGregor. That hasn't happened. And I'm also guessing we're going to see a flashback of Order 66, Anakin chopping up some Jedi. I feel like we're going to see that. And I think at some point we're going to see Kenobi slash the helmet of Vader, and maybe it will reveal Hayden Christensen and they'll have a conversation. But yeah, I'm kind of surprised at how little he's in the show, and that was like the first time we're seeing him, and it's in episode 3. We also hear Vader talk to Reva about possibly becoming the Grand Inquisitor. What is going on with that? I was kind of like, I don't know. That was weird. I'm guessing the Grand Inquisitor, they didn't really talk about him. It's like Reva or Vader says specifically that he doesn't matter, and Kenobi is the only thing that matters now. So I'm guessing the Grand Inquisitor, he's not dead, obviously. There's no way they're breaking the canon timeline, and especially because Deborah Chow said in multiple interviews that she's going to respect what Dave Filoni did. And if they kill the Grand Inquisitor and just replace him or do something weird like that, I feel like that would be disrespecting him. Or maybe they got his permission. I still don't like it either way. But I don't think he's dead. He's definitely not dead. Like 90% sure he's not. I think they wanted to come up with a reason for why he wouldn't be the secondary main villain of the show. So yeah, this episode had some problems, but I felt like overall I enjoyed it. I felt like it was pretty good. Some issues I have here and there, but yeah. So to wrap up the video, may the force be with you always.